We began our search for Kylie at Prosser Creek Reservoir on August 21st at 10:40 a.m. We placed 2 sonar boats in the water. By 11:15 a.m., Nick detected an object underwater using cutting-edge Garmin sonar technology. I was able to then confirm that it was in fact a vehicle in roughly 14 feet of water.
Reporter Room with Jessica Della Davies starts now.
Hi guys, welcome to Reporter Room. My name is Jessica Della Davies and I'm an investigative journalist. This week we have a lot of stuff to get into. First of all, we have new videos of Sami that have emerged this week, new information on Jagger and Kate that has emerged from a channel called Zavgirl, where Jagger was allegedly sleeping with Kate as friends only. And I don't know if this is legitimate or not because she doesn't share who her source is, but that's not that unusual in the reporting world. But I cannot independently verify this, so I'm going to say allegedly. And we have so many questions about Jagger, Kate, Sami, and what happened to Kylie Rodni. And I'm going to go through some of the most interesting questions that are swirling around this case in a moment. So please stay with me. Everything I'm sharing with you today is my opinion, and opinions are not facts. So please don't send any negativity to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Let's be kind and good to each other. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a live stream or a new video, and let's get started. 1. What really happened to Kylie Rodni? Was this a tragic accident? Was this a cover-up? Or was this straight up foul play? 2. Why didn't the family list Kylie's passing date? They just put August 2022. Is this because we don't have the full autopsy and the toxicology report yet, so they don't know what the passing date is? 3. Why didn't Kylie's mom, Lindsay Neiman, thank Adventures with Purpose for finding her daughter? Because without them, Kylie would still be sitting at the bottom of Lake Prosser. Is this because she's going through a grieving process, or is it because she's just simply not grateful for their help? 4. Why don't we have any evidence yet of a party? And by this, I'm talking about photos and multiple videos along with eyewitness testimonies. Somebody would have surely leaked this to news or social media outlets. We have this one picture that was provided by Sami and not much else. Where are the hundreds of photos and videos that Sami told us about? 5. How did Kylie end up in the cargo bay of her vehicle? Was she trying to just get out of the car as it sunk into Lake Prosser, or was she put there? This is the main reason that Nick described Kylie's demise as suspicious, and I'm talking about Nick Wren from Adventures with Purpose. We don't even know if Kylie was found dressed or undressed, and all we've heard is that Kylie had one shoe on. 6. Why, when law enforcement pulled Kylie's vehicle out of Lake Prosser, did they not seal it up? Why did they let things tumble out onto the floor of the lake? And then, knowing that they hadn't sealed the windows, why not just send divers in over the period of the next several days to a week to search for anything that might have fallen to the bottom of the lake? 7. Why was the rear driver's side window halfway down? And why was the passenger side front window smashed? Was Kylie trying to get out, or did this happen as the vehicle rolled? Was someone chasing Kylie and smashed the window? 8. What about the strap or belt that's hanging out of the back of Kylie's vehicle? Is this a seat belt? How did this occur? Had she been driving around like this for a week, a few days, or did it occur that night? 9. What about Kylie's friends? Did they really know her? Because how could they just leave her, too intoxicated to drive at a party that had been described as Sami as being, quote, scary, and also that it got really big around 10:30 p.m.? Why were they trying to say they didn't believe that law enforcement found Kylie? And why did Sami describe herself as Kylie's best friend when it doesn't seem like they knew each other very well at all, at least according to Kate? Why was Kylie's ex-boyfriend, Jagger, being described by Fox 40 as being her current boyfriend when Jagger was actually an ex-boyfriend, and now we're finding out that Jagger was sleeping with Kate? This is raising so many red flags. 10. Where did the alcohol and other substances going around this party, where did they come from? Sami places them conveniently in Kylie's car by saying they kept going back to Kylie's car for more drinks. But Kylie was just 16 years old, so how would she have access to drinks? Is this related in any way to Lindsay's, quote, "there's honor in silence," end quote statement? 11. How did Placer County miss Kylie's car in Lake Prosser? We know it was sitting between 10 and 14 feet of water. The guy who found her laptop and hairbrush, which these are obviously much smaller items, right? He found them using a paddleboard, and he's not a trained scuba diver. Adventures with Purpose found Kylie in 34 minutes once they went to the correct lake, the lake they were told by law enforcement that had already been cleared. Now we're hearing that, oh, well, we couldn't search that part of the lake because there was a fisherman there. Are you kidding? You could just ask the fisherman to move. And Kylie's vehicle was found just 55 feet offshore from where her phone last pinged. 12. Does law enforcement actually have Kylie Rodni's phone? Was it in her vehicle? Was it on her person? 13. Why is Kylie's mother and law enforcement so worried about social media now? Initially, we were asked to help get Kylie's name out there. In fact, a lot of us donated to help find Kylie. We donated our time, we donated our resources, and Adventures with Purpose went out there because they were invited to search for Kylie. Their payback from Kylie's mom was just some snarky statement trashing YouTubers. But, you know, without YouTubers, would Kylie still be sitting at the bottom of the lake because the police claimed that they had searched Lake Prosser? 14. Why didn't police take advice from Adventures with Purpose on how to get the car up? Because they could have just floated the car to the top without flipping the car. Or the car could have been wrapped and secured. And if the police didn't know how to retrieve the car properly, why not take advice from the experts who were there and willing to share their knowledge with police? We saw a similar attitude from Grand County Sheriff's Office in the disappearance and murders of Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. Did you know that the Grand County Sheriff's Office actually went after social media sleuth Cindy Sue Hunter? She was the one who found the women after she was tapped by a social media post from Sean Paul Schulte, who is Kylie's dad. So Cindy Sue Hunter found Kylie and Crystal. She called law enforcement after she found Kylan, and they actually found Crystal. But they tried to falsely accuse her of doing away with Kylan and Crystal. Of course, it was all BS. But why were the police so anxious and willing to discredit Cindy Sue Hunter? They failed to find Kylan and Crystal, and she was successful. Why can't they just accept the fact that social media sleuths can be a help on these cases? 15. Kylie's mom originally thought it was an abduction, right? She released this information through her friend. So why is she saying now that she thinks it was just an accident? Does she know something we don't know? Or Do police just plan to say, hey, it was an accident, to save themselves the embarrassment of having YouTubers solve their case for them? Again, I don't think they should be embarrassed. I just think they should be thankful that YouTubers and social media sleuths are willing to help. The more eyes on the case, the better, right? 16. Who exactly is performing Kylie Rodni's autopsy and toxicology? Why isn't law enforcement not taking any questions as to who is doing what? Before Kylie was found, we were getting pretty regular press updates, right? And now they've gone radio silent. And is this because they're protecting their case? And why is the Nevada County Sheriff their coroner? Could this be a conflict of interest? In my opinion, one of the most important parts of being a criminal law enforcement investigator is thoroughness. And sometimes it's the tiniest, most inconsequential seeming piece of evidence that becomes key to solving this investigation. So I'm asking you, do you think that law enforcement properly secured the crime scene? Did they separate the witnesses? Did they search for evidence? Did they secure the evidence that they did collect? I'm concerned because they left evidence on the floor of Lake Prosser that was later found by CheckItTV. It's concerning that items including Kylie's laptop were left behind to be found by YouTubers. And I want to thank each and every one of you for everything that you have done to keep Kylie's name out there, because without you, she might never have been found. Subscribe. See you next time.